Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. This is the third installment of the Flip series. That's where we make a small investment on a cheap Heap from an auction and flip it, and keep doing that until we eventually end up with expensive cars, supercar. We'll see what we can find. We'll see where the journey takes us, and I have you along for the ride. Right now, we're making this vehicle just a whole lot safer by restoring the headlights and the parking lights and blinkers. Clouded over, oxidized, like the normal factory coatings will at some point. There are many ways to attack these and go about them, and I've showed quite a few as well. Today, we'll do it just a little bit differently. We are going to nip them down, remove the factory coating that has failed with 600 grit. You can use 800 grit, 1,000 grit, whatever you choose, but it's going to take some time to get that factory coating off. It can be thick, it can be stubborn, and it will let you know if it hasn't been completely removed, as it shows up a slightly different shade than the rest of the plastic lens. So just keep going until you've completely removed it. It can take some time, but be patient. The parking lights or the turn signals, on the other hand, completely different story, much easier. The next step is to polish out the sand marks. You could do that with a rotary DA polisher, whatever pad you choose, and correction compound. It doesn't matter, as long as you're getting the results you're looking for. The next step will be a little bit different, but I want to remind you at this point, early in the game, you want to be just to be completely blunt, as stingy and as cheap as you can when it comes to restoring these, pinching every penny. So we're going to be using recycled or leftover products that have been sitting around the shop for quite some time. And this whole video, we will have not gone out and spent another dime. As of now, we are at $3,089.01 into this project, and we want to hold that as close as we can. We do have to get new tires at some point. Those are on the way. I found a set for $606. We'll get those on there for safety and to get around inclement weather here in the Northeast. So that's a must. And that will lead right into the next step. We're going to use a panel prep or an IPA, whatever you have, and clean off any residue or oils from the polishes so they don't get in the way with the bond of the protection we're going to put on the headlights and the parking lights here. Having plenty of leftover from other jobs, we're going to use 8mm PPF non-yellowing for the headlights. And we're going to put the slip solution, and this lets the film float on top of the panel or the headlight or whatever you're trying to protect, so you can adjust it. You can move it around and adjust it with the adhesive not grabbing onto the substrate. When you have it lined up, I'll use the factory cut for the portion of the headlight towards the grill, and I'll just trim the rest of it. Once you have it lined up perfectly, spray the outside of the PPF with slip solution so the squeegee glides along without leaving a mark, and squeegee the water or the slip solution from underneath the film out, and the adhesive will take hold. And that's it. That's all there is to it, and that's yet another way you can restore and protect your headlights. I have demonstrated kits, repainting, coating, and now using PPF to protect them and preserve the finish. Both sides are done, nice and clear, protected, and we can move on to the next little mini project on this Jeep. All this done with items we had laying around the shop, nothing added to the total cost that we have into this vehicle. Now, we have that middle push bar also painted, freshly painted. That was dull. Let's get to the front passenger side bumper that's marked up and just flaking off, failing completely. Do we need to tape that up now that we have the parking light and headlight restored over here. We're going to protect that as we work on this little edge trim piece on the bumper. And we'll tape it up. We'll protect them. We need to sand down and denib that little trim piece. There are scrape marks and some of the areas where the paint is failing that needs to be removed and scuffed up. And this will lead to the part of the day where our newest member comes in, punches in. So we're going to put him to work on this area. And all we need to do is have him grab some sandpaper. You could do this dry. We like to wet sand every chance we get here. It controls the residue and the dust flying through the air. We need to keep it as clean as possible in the shop. We can do other work here. We just have to be mindful of that and keep the dust down. Unlike detailing, prep for painting is a little bit different. It's not what you see, it's what you can feel. Use your hands. If you could feel it, it's going to show up when you're finished painting. So sand everything smooth, but keeping it scuffed up so the fresh paint has something to cling on to. And lucky for us this time around, the damage is minor, so we'll be able to take care of it just through sanding alone. No filler or Bondo or tiger hair needed whatsoever. While he's working on that, I can search my shelves for leftover paint. I have several shades of silver, I have some hardener, and I'll pick one where I think it's the closest match. It's not going to be perfect, but hopefully it's close enough of a match where you won't notice it. First, we need to lay down a bit of primer. The primer also helps fill in some of the areas in the corner there that are damaged, and that will make it nice and smooth, and you won't be able to tell there was anything done in that area when we're finished with it. When that has cured, we sand it down a bit and we hit it with the color coat that is a metallic silver. And finally, the cherry on top, and that is the clear coat. That will give it its gloss, the final look. We try not to use bomb cans if we don't have to here, guys. Sometimes you can get a perfect match with a bomb can, but the spraying of them, unless you have one with a quality nozzle on it or a spray tip, the best way to go is the air compressor and the gravity-fed spray gun here. Gives you a nice finish. You'll see at the end, other than the slight change of shade, it'll look fantastic. That will do it for this episode of the Flip series. Let me know down in the comments section how you think we're coming along with this project and what we have done so far. This has been Brian from Apex Detail. I'll catch you in the next video.